All right, lots to unpack from today. So here we are at the Great Guana Cay, and we've just watched sunset and had some dinner. But yeah, we got started early this morning, knowing that our captain was coming. So I got a few things knocked out around here as I was doing those. One of those, of course, being the most important thing, was coffee. As soon as all of our neighbors noticed we had coffee, I started getting visitors because the power went out about 4 o'clock this morning. Maybe it was earlier than that.
It was about 4.
It was about 4? Okay. So about 4 o'clock this morning, everything shut down. The power went off at the dock. I got up in the middle of the night. Fortunately, I knew how to turn on the generator and get all the breakers and switches turned over to operate off generator. So we were able to get the air conditioner going on. It actually worked better after we got on generator. And then we had neighbors showing up and literally bringing me coffee makers with water, and it was, you know, they already had their coffee made and they were going out for the day, but they couldn't go without the caffeine. So I brewed up coffee for us and for them, and then Lisa got up, and then Calvin showed up.
Yeah, we went over the game plan.
Yeah, we kind of went over the game plan and stuff. Somebody from a neighboring slip told Lisa about a little locker that had a bunch of toys in it, and so she dug through and found some cool stuff there.
Got some stuff for us to hang off, some noodles and some blow-up rafts that sit in the water.
And we pulled away from the dock. We'll be getting ready to go sailing pretty soon.
Dock to fill up with gas. Getting ready for our first day of adventure out on the water. Went over to go get gassed up. Why were we having to gas up on the first day?
Because there was no gas because the boat was broke from the people before us.
So no diesel, no gas in the dinghy, no water. We still have no water because of the power issues at the marina.
Yeah.
Pull over to the marina. Our captain had me fill up the diesel and stuff.
What you doing, Chris?
Well, we're fueling up. The boat did not have a refill from the previous people who were chartering it because she had a rudder issue. And so they kind of brought her in pretty much empty, both the dinghy, both tanks. So we're gonna get her fueled up. And as it turns out, the starboard side has a normal fitting, so you just slip the diesel gas pump into the thing and fill it up and drag it across the deck, and on the other side it's still a French fitting. So it wouldn't really go in, and so I figured, you know, out how to wedge it in there, and then got the pump going, and then a little bit later just heard this hissing sound and thought, well, it must be getting close to full, so let me try to wedge it out of there. Turns out it was not only full, it had pressurized the tank, being so over full that it was now hissing out of an overflow valve. When I pulled that off, diesel just washed all over the port side deck, all over me, all over my rash guard and my skin, and I was just covered in diesel. So that was fun. So we very quickly figured out where the aft showers are and kind of got rinsed off and got back underway. Little harbor's that way. Town's over there.
We are exiting Abaco Beach Resort Marina.
Looks like the wind's coming from this direction. Mermaid.
We're heading out into open water.
Mermaid's so close
And we're gonna head to an area called Mermaid something. I don't know, they said it's really, really good diving and snorkeling. So we're going to go snorkel for a while before we put the sails up to head to our destination.
So we kind of motored around the bend to a place that was supposed to have some pretty good snorkeling, but unfortunately the anchor didn't work out so good for us, and we tried a couple of times to stick it. The captain had some issues getting it to really dig into the sand, and so we ended up having to abandon that idea. Let's go.
Definitely not Captain Calvin's fault. It's hard to see here, but there was a lot of swell. There were also a bunch of boats that had taken all the good spots to drop the hook.
Stuck. If it... Thinking, you know, is it going to get caught on the way back up?
And there was a storm moving in, not to mention that the anchor and bridle were not cooperating.
Let me just kind of monkey with this for a minute. Okay, maybe. So we pulled up anchor and we motored away. But
Not for long though,
not for very long.
because he said let's go sailing.
Yeah. So what happened next?
So we went sailing.
Yeah. First time ever.
First time ever.
Hell yeah.
I just usually watch the wave direction. Let's see how it comes back over. It's going back. Not yet, though. Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. Okay, go up one. sail back over. You know, they make lazy jacks to make it easy. Well, it's easy to take the sail down. But it's not easy to take it up. Okay, right there, go ahead.
To put up the mainsail, you have to basically be pointed directly into the wind, or what's called in irons. Otherwise, it gets hung up in the lines. So we were struggling to do that because the wind was all over the place.
So we got her upwind down into dead irons and got the main sail up. She didn't want to go up. It's a new boat, still working out the kinks here. We did finally get the mainsail to go up, and then we got the jib out. Our speed over ground is 3.2. We're doing that wind speed, you can't beat that. What we're talking about right here.
And they're breaking my boat. That I have to take back to Florida. Now they're I can't see them anymore. Just kidding. Is we haven't had a lot of rain here this year. It's starting to rain now, but so a lot of the places that would sell us water before won't sell us water anymore. So we want to conserve water, and there's only like a few places that we can get water. Treasure might be one of them. Oaktown might be one of them. We can always go back to the marina. So the best thing to do is just try to conserve water. One of the biggest things for that is like a sailor shower. You get wet, you turn the water off, you soap up. Rinse off and done.
That's what we do in the camper.
We're the owners. Well, 3-minute showers. Well, if we can ever get that thing turned on, we'll be able to tell how much water. Yeah, it seems like that. There's a piece of candy out there. It seems like a TV. You'll probably tell you like you're want to show it to me? Yeah. And when I walk around the boat, so you're the captain.
Alright, so the guys left me in charge. Fun stuff here. So I'm at the helm. We're on autopilot, so it's fine. I'm fine, but just thought I'd check in real quick.
and we got underway. We were under, for I'd say most of the time it was between 10 and 15 knots, and then we started seeing this squall forming.
So we've been sailing for about an hour, but we've got this little storm approaching. So we've turned the motor on, and we're pulling the sails down, taking them down, and I'm gonna motor a bit and try to get out of the path of this storm that seems to be approaching us. Okay, stand back, it's gonna fall. Here we go. Mainsail is coming down. Got some pretty serious wind going on because of this. You hear? A little bit of craziness going on, but we're gonna be fine. We got a captain taking care of us. We are literally learning the ropes. Chris is working on the ropes right now, but I'm watching the sail go down.
So we grabbed that boat hook off the wall. It's right inside the door.
What is?
It's called a boat hook.
And it just kept getting bigger. It wasn't getting closer to us initially. It was just getting bigger and bigger and bigger, which actually produced a fair amount of wind. We got, I think we topped out at 7 knots in 14 knot apparent wind speed and 17 knots true wind speed. And so we're making a decent amount of time, but the captain started thinking that that was looking kind of dangerous. So after, like you said, about an hour and 20 minutes, something like that, we started pulling the sails back in, got under motor just in time. We were coming here to Great Guana Cay, and we were initially planning to come up on anchor, and we had to drop that idea and came in here and grabbed a mooring ball instead. So we're on a mooring ball right now. That was a challenge. Lisa fortunately was able to get some footage of that.
Trying to get on a mooring ball, had it, but lost it. I think he's got it again. Okay, got the rope. Oh. This seems like don't lose the pole. Oh my gosh. Lost the pole. Pole went in the water.
The rain had just started coming in, the wind was starting to come in, it was getting really kind of creepy out there, and we had a heck of a time grabbing that mooring ball. I was up on the helm station for a while, and the captain was down there trying to grab it with the boat, or the, what is that thing called? The boat
stick.
Boat stick. I know there's a name for it. We used it about 1,000,000 times today, but it got away from him a few times, and then finally it just stole it from him. He lost the mooring ball and the stick, and then had to reverse over. So he took the helm, and then I jumped on the back, and I started working to get the thing back out of the water.
There's a ladder. If I do, I'd make this easier.
Grabbed it and got it out of the water. Finally did get ourselves onto the mooring ball, but then had more problems because you have to put it on both sides, and then we had to kind of remotor a little bit and then pull it back out a couple of times and get both sides, because you kind of want it on a harness on both sides of the boat. That took some work. Finally got it fully locked down, and rainstorm going. What happened to Calvin at that point? He just left us. He abandoned us.
Yeah.
So, I'm trying to catch this, but that is Calvin is on his way back. He was our guy for today, and another boat is picking him up and taking him back. And man, that does not want to focus. But yeah, they came and picked him up in the pouring rain from our boat to go to that boat, and yeah,
Our day was cut short.
Focus. Yeah, our day was obviously cut short. As you can see, we're a bit rained out here. We're hoping that this will blow over in an hour and a half, 2 hours, something like that. But we're in Guana Cay. Get a little bit better. So, nope. Abort. Anyway, this is the Great Guana Cay when raining. But we're nice and dry right here in the boat. The dinghy. We're hoping to get to use that in a little while. If this ever blows over.
3 o'clock. Weather Channel said 3 o'clock.
All right, fingers crossed.
Yeah, there was another boat here out of his charter, and so they just came over here in their dinghy and picked him up, and he just rode back with them. He was going to stay with us till around 3 o'clock, but he left at 1.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame him. It was a terrible rainstorm, and there was a boat really close to us that was from the same group he was in, and they had their dinghy out running people back and forth from shore. And so Calvin took the very smart move and hopped on with them and started getting on the dinghy, because I don't know if we got any footage of that dinghy loading and unloading people. I think we may not.
The dinghy? You mean the...
not the dinghy, the ferry.
Ferry.
Sorry. Yeah, the ferry that he was going to ride back in. I'm glad he didn't take that, because there was
packed.
Oh my God, it was packed. Tiny little ferry, lots and lots of people. And anyway, that ride he got back saved him from having to wait around for a while. And so anyway, we had a beer with him, waiting for them to come pick him up. They picked him up right here off of the starboard aft sugar scoop, and he rode back, and he'll be back here in the morning.
Join us next time to see if the rain finally stops and we get a chance to get off this boat and go explore the Great Guana Cay. Thanks for watching.